I guess that comes with age. I still love him though. Just as he's loved me and Lee all 4 years, it's been great. I'd just like to say this LYNAY experience has been one of the most greatest. That's not my real speech. Alright, here we go. Let's go. My name is Brandon Bolden, senior psychology major from St. Louis, Missouri. I was born January 17th, 1990 to a broken family. Simply said, drugs, money, alcohol, and sex dominated the mindset of many within my household. Conscious choices to purchase temporary fixes superseded the need to pay the bills, often leaving us cold. Mildew and mold infiltrating the nostrils, secondhand smoke affecting my vitals, and with the many temptations to fall prey to the downward spiral, I should not be here. Fortunately, before I knew God, God knew what I needed, chose to intercede on my blind behalf and protect me from Satan's wrath. I never was interested in purposely playing his games. I wanted to be real, authentic, not a statistic, not fictitious. Becoming something other than a facade for fortune and fame and a glorified name, which would eventually lead me to accept Christ and to be free from chains and the constant strains of feeling that I was doomed by evil's reign. Consequently, I was shamed, called all sorts of names, ignorant, arrogant, lame, all because I wanted to abstain from the stains caused by living on hopeless gains. And I can sit here and depress about having a so-called bad start, but why should I? Hold that thought, because I want to express to you something that has kept me strong. Advice that many great men and women have passed down through generation and generation that has placed me to where I am today. Through harsh winters and brutal summers, empty springs and devastating falls, when I couldn't decipher God's call, when my back was constantly against the wall, and as the rays of sun offered me hope, and in times of exponential growth, and when the rains from heaven flooded my path, and when his gentle breeze gave me breath. The choices you make in everyday life are effective. Don't make them in vain. Because a thoughtless choice made too quickly that may quickly benefit you may devastate the life of someone else forever. Think about it. One too many beers can lead to the death of an innocent family in a car crash. One incident of calling someone out of their name can lead to a successful attempt at suicide. One moment of purposefully not holding to your commitment can cost your co-workers a career. One impure thought can lead to a world of adultery, hurt, and shame. Choices. They are the catalyst to everything that happens within us and around us. A driving force that can be used for bad and for good. I mean, choosing to drink responsibly does save lives. Encouragement brings life. Staying committed reaps its benefits. And pure thoughts lead to pure choices. Choices. But not just any kind of choices, though. Any human being has the ability to choose what they want to eat, where they want to sleep, what friends they want to hang out with, what girl or boy you want to woo next. Practically everything we do is a choice, whether consciously or unconsciously. Don't believe me? Hold your breath long enough, and your mind and body will make a choice for you. Hope it doesn't hurt on the way down. Furthermore, every human being has the ability to make good and bad choices. Being honest or lying, being timely or procrastinating, need I say more? But is that all that we're limited to? Good and bad? If that's the case, then the world around us could never be a better place. Because every decision will be made because it is good or bad. Yeah, it's a good choice to serve other people, but does good always truly come from it? And it's a good choice to love your neighbor, but is that always truly carried out? And it's a bad choice to wish evil on other people, but does that stop us from thinking it? And it's a bad choice to steal, but does that eliminate our ability to covet that item? This is where our new option comes in. An option that we as men and women of LYNAY should be doing our best to practice every day. And that's making an authentic choice. Authentic, or in other words, real, trustworthy, or genuine. Choosing to be authentic requires the right attitude. No selfish person can be truly authentic. It's the kind of choice that involves not just using your mind, but your heart also. It calls for choosing to act in a way that shows a love that is Christ-like, putting others before you. Say you're walking into your next class and you make eye contact with someone you don't know. A good choice would be to not embarrass yourself by making an awkward encounter. A bad choice would be completely ignore them. But an authentic choice would be to greet that person in a meaningful way, not because you have to, but because you want to. You could leave knowing that you positively impacted that person's day, and that person leaves feeling noticed and possibly loved. Or suppose you're in line and someone you do know doesn't look so good. You begin talking with them and they reveal to you that they're not having a great day. A good choice would be to say, man, I hope your day gets better. I'll pray for you. A bad choice would be to say, well, sucks to suck. But an authentic choice would be to genuinely offer your services. And if they ask for prayer, offer to pray for them then. Nothing hurts a person more than knowing that they could have been forgotten. You leave knowing that you've helped someone. They leave with a new hope for their situation. And now to backtrack to why I'm not depressed about my upbringing. I really believe in the phrase, all things happen for a reason. And here's why. Because I didn't want to repeat the actions of my family, I chose to want to be real. This led to me finding a place that taught me how to do so, the church, which then led me to accepting the teacher as Lord because he was the perfect example of being real, thus leading me to want to know more, hence lessons on authenticity, which caused me to, despite not receiving much of a benefit, authentically love and serve my family and friends and teachers through obedience, resulting in unfortunately being shamed, called all sorts of names, ignorant, arrogant, lame, which allowed me to my adoptive parents to authentically love me and provide a hope that I couldn't describe, which made me want to give authentically more, though I didn't have much to give, which caused others to want to give, granting me a way to get into college, though I nor my family could afford it. So I chose ACU, and it allowed me to be a part of LYNAY, which has made me want to authentically give more, as best as I could, when I could. Joining service organizations, Shades, Res Life, Alliance for Women and Children, Camp of the Hills, Park Springs. And they too authentically helped me when I was low, again allowing me to continue to be authentic myself. Do you see the effects of authenticity? And I'm just a sliver along the numerous ways authentic choices have played out. That doesn't rock your boat much? Try this story for size. 1 year ago, as a resident assistant, I got a call from the front desk that they suspected a resident walking in drunk. Immediately, I thought, I don't want to deal with this right now. Bad choice. But eventually, I mustered up enough energy to go and check out the situation. Good choice. On my way there, I decided to pray, asking God to take myself out of the situation and really love him like you would, despite me not wanting to be there. It turns out that he and his friends had been drinking, causing me to have to call the appropriate authorities. As we waited for them to show up, I began to converse with him, letting him know that though there were consequences, it would not be the end as long as he chose to follow instructions. I also took the time to remind him of the forgiveness of Christ that he offers to everyone and that he was not exempt from. Authentic choice. I didn't get to see the result of that interaction until a couple days ago while I was working at the front desk at Edwards. That same resident came up to me gesturing for a handshake. I was confused. All previous attempts to interact with him after that night resulted in him completely blowing me off. He actually avoided me, but I chose to take this opportunity to love him and shook his hand. He squeezed it pretty hard and began crying and said, "You helped to turn me around a year ago. The only reason I drank was because no one cared. Yet though you didn't know me, your actions showed more care than all of my friends combined. I've changed now. New friends, attending church regularly, and I'm even a life group leader. I hope to encounter more authentic people like you. The impression on both him and me, huge. LYNAY has taught me many things, but one lesson stands out above the rest. Without it, I don't even know how I would be able to stand before you today. Be authentic. Good choices are good and bad ones are bad. But authentic choices. Choices that involves the right attitude, your heart, mind, and soul, a servant heart, and a desire to be Christ-like. Those are the best. A person who makes authentic choices loves unconditionally, hopes endlessly, walks faithfully, serves humbly, and endures constantly. A person who makes authentic choices wants nothing to do with doing enough just to get by, but is willing to get on their hands and knees to work, get dirty, make mistakes, and try again until there is no room left for improvement. And no one is perfect at this, but that does not exempt you from doing your best to live an authentic lifestyle. And you don't have to do it alone. Depend on one another to be authentic, to be real, to be genuine. Scripture reads, and Dr. Michaela mentioned this earlier, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, any fellowship with the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and purpose. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. Your attitude should be the same as that of Christ Jesus, who, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. This is true authenticity. And if Jesus Christ can do it in human form, so can we. I challenge you today to live a life in authenticity, one that will not only benefit you, but others around you. And I challenge you to challenge each other to live authentically as well, myself included. Better is two people accomplishing one goal than a single person ever could. Would you accept the challenge? Will you accept the challenge?